This is the ultimate state of lying flat. A man secretly hid in a wealthy family's wardrobe for 20 years. When you're hungry, just open the fridge, live off others' leftovers. Afterwards, he also washed the kitchen utensils he had used. In the dead of night, when nature calls, while the homeowner was fast asleep, sneaking out to use someone else's toilet. The reason he managed to evade detection for 20 years was entirely due to his efforts back then to hide from creditors. In a panic, he hid inside a valuable antique wardrobe. This seemingly fortuitous encounter would subsequently alter the man's way of life. When he opened the wardrobe once more, he found himself in the wealthy couple's bedroom, yet he still hadn't figured out a way to escape. Just then, footsteps from the homeowners echoed upstairs. To avoid running into them, he had no choice but to hide under the bed for the time being. But then, the conversation between the host couple took everyone by surprise. The antique wardrobe has now been moved over, while the built-in wardrobe against the wall will no longer be used. Upon hearing this, the man, a mind-blowing idea suddenly popped into my head. Late at night, after the couple had fallen into a deep sleep, he cautiously crawled out from under the bed, straight to the bathroom, to freely release the pent-up supply from over a dozen hours. Afterward, he headed toward the front door. He had intended to slip away under cover of darkness, but the thought of being alone and an orphan, not to mention the creditors still hunting him outside, made him decide to hide in this house for the time being. He carefully crawled back under the bed and spent the night in constant fear. Early the next morning, after confirming the hosts had left, he then launched a series of shady maneuvers. First, he used their bathroom to take a shower. Then he grabbed the husband's razor to shave off his stubble. When thirsty, he helped himself to milk from the fridge. He even polished off the child's cookies. Finally, he politely washed all the dishes the couple had left behind in their morning rush. His diligent hands were no less capable than having a full-time housekeeper. To make himself more comfortable, he selected a set of workout clothes to put on inside the house. Yet what he was about to do next would shock everyone's notions. He thought he could carve out a sleeping space in this room, so he dismantled the front door of the wardrobe against the wall and cut open the back door of the antique wardrobe, creating an entrance passage. Then he hung all his clothes up, thus completing a separate partitioned room. The man believed his plan was flawless. If nothing unexpected happened, something unexpected was about to happen. The lady of the house happened to come home early today and discovered that the kitchen sink, which had been in disarray that morning, was now scrubbed spotless. Even the teacups were neatly arranged. By evening, she told her husband about this strange occurrence, but the root of their marital discord led him to dismiss it casually, attributing it to her declining memory since falling ill. But the next day, the mistress's phone call made his heartstrings tighten instantly. She told her mother that there was a vague presence of a stranger in the house. The man felt a chill run down his spine upon hearing this. Just as the truth seemed about to be exposed, the mistress changed the subject, believing it was her grandfather in heaven missing her, his spirit coming to visit. This made the man want to get to the bottom of things. What was the story behind the mistress's grandfather? So while the family was out, he slipped into the study to search through her notebooks, but what he found inside warmed his heart. It turned out this antique wardrobe held the mistress's childhood memories. Whenever she had troubles, she'd hide inside to find solace for her soul. Little did they know it would come so suddenly. The next day, the woman opened the antique wardrobe and crawled inside just like she did as a child. But what she said next made the man's nerves snap even tighter.
¿Quién eres? ¿Eres tú? Jorge.
It turned out was her childhood companion, but at the age of 7, he suddenly passed away due to an allergic reaction. The mistress never accepted this reality, so she regarded him as spirit, believing that all the household chores are done by the other person, and she even treated the man in the closet as her emotional crutch. That day, the woman returned home early, and once again approached the wardrobe to talk to it. She recounted the interesting things she encountered today, one's own joys and sorrows, shared them one by one. It was as if she'd always known someone truly lived inside the wardrobe, and she clung to the closet as her last spiritual refuge, just like someone obsessed with the person inside the wardrobe. Immediately afterward, the woman lay down on the bed and began massaging her abdomen, as if another soul were embracing her. The man wasn't idle either, unconsciously moving in rhythm with her. At that moment, two lonely souls converged. By chance, the male homeowner was cleaning. The moment he opened the trash can, a swarm of poisonous bees instantly swarmed him and began stinging. Before long, the man collapsed to the ground. Yet beside her, he watched coldly until the other party fell silent. From that moment on, whenever the mistress fell into a deep sleep, the wardrobe door would open immediately afterward, and the film would come to an end.